Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel and I'm Daryl from But Stay Tuned. So for today's video, we're going to tackle about the packet tracer activity in the chapter 1. So the packet tracer activity is entitled network representation. So first, the objectives of this activity is the network model in this activity incorporates many of the technologies that you will master in your CCNA studies. It represents a simplified version of how a small to medium sized business network might look. Feel free to explore the network on your own when you are ready to proceed through the following steps and answer their questions. So it is noted here that it is not important that you understand everything you see and do in this activity. Feel free to explore and the network on your own. If you wish to proceed, musically follow the steps below. So we're going to follow the steps. So first is identify common components of the network as represented in the packet tracer. So the icon toolbar and the bottom left hand corner has a various categories of network and components. You should see the categories that correspond to the intermediary devices. So here are intermediary devices. So end devices and media. The connections category with the lightning bolt icon. So this is the connection lightning bolt icons which has a different type of cables. So network media support by path tracer. There is also an end devices. So here the end devices is basically the end devices or the desktop or laptop, server, printer, something like that. So next is the two categories specific to packet tracer, custom-made devices and multi-tracer connection. So list the intermediary devices categories. So here are the list of the intermediary devices, router, switches, hubs, wireless devices, and security control, then one emulation. So without entering into the internet cloud or internet cloud, how many icons in the topology represent endpoint devices? Only one connection leading to them. So let's count the end devices that here in our topology. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, uh, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there are 15 rather 15 end devices here in our topology. So next is without counting the two clouds, how many icons in the topology? And we're already done that. How many end devices are not desktop computers? So we're going to count again. It's how many end devices are not desktop computers. So one, two, three, four, uh, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 end devices that are not desktop computers. So next is how many different types of media connections are used in this network topology. So the types of media connections is also known as the cable use or the connection used in the different media devices or intermediary devices and end devices. So we're going to identify that in our topology. So here, this is an example of a straight through copper cable. So that's count as one media connection that are used. Next is the coaxial cable. Here, the blue one is coaxial cable. So that's count as two. Then here, the broken lines is the represent as the wireless connection. So we have three. And then the serial DCE or the serial cable, so that's 4. So all in all in this topology there are 4 different types of media connection used. So next is to explain the purpose of the devices. So in the packet tracer, only the server PT devices can act as a server. So desktop or laptop PC cannot act as a server based on your study so far. Explain the client server model. So in modern networks, a host can act as a client, a server, or both. So software installed on the host determines the role it plays on the network. So servers are hosts that have software installed that enables them to provide information and services like email or web pages to the other hosts on the network. The clients are hosts that have only software installed that enables them to request and display the information obtained from the server. A client could also be configured as a server by simply installing the server software. So next is at least two function of intermediary devices. So first, the distance the media can successfully carry a signal, the environment which the media devices is to be installed, the amount of data and the speed in which must be transmitted, the cost of the media and installation. So next is list at least two criteria for choosing it. Parallel than that. So next is we're going to answer list at least two function of intermediary devices. So regenerate and retransmit data signals, maintain information about what pathway exists through the network and internetwork. So notify other devices of error and communication failure. So direct data along alternative paths when there is a link failure. Classify and direct message according to the QoS priorities. So permit or deny the flow of data based on the security settings. Next is compare and contrast LANs and WANs. So access to end users in a small geographical area, a home, office, or school, campus, or any company are examples of LANs. Ano, office and schools, campus are example of LANs. WANs provide access to users in a wide geographical area over long distance spanning a few miles or kilometers or meters, 2000 meters, 1000. And a metropolitan area network or MAN and the internet are example of WANs. So a company's intranet may also connect multiple remote sites using a WAN. Next is in a packet tracer network, how many WANs do you see? So here, WANs, there are two, the internet and the internet WANs. So next, how many LANs do you how many LANs do you see? So there are one, two, three. So there are three easily identifiable because each has a border and label. So next is the internet in the packet tracer network is overly simplified and does not represent the structure and form of the real internet. Briefly describe the internet. So the internet is mostly used when we need to communicate with the resources on the other network. So the internet is a global mesh of interconnected network devices. So there are many functions nowadays in the internet because me as a student, I heavily rely on using the internet because not because my course is information technology, but also be on social media and communication. So it help us also in researching to our topics. Also when we are need a guide in our the systems we are making, we just need to rely on the internet. So also the big companies now is heavily relying on the internet because they must transmit the communication less hassle because of the internet because it is wireless. So definitely it's hard to live now because of the technology without the internet. So what are some of the common ways a home user connects to the internet? So the common ways of a home user connect to the internet is using satellite, DSL, cable, dial-up, and cellular. So next, excuse me. What are some common methods that business use to connect to the internet in your area? So the common methods that business use to connect to the internet in our area, in my opinion, based on my observation, dedicated lease lines, DSL and cable and satellite, or sometimes wireless. So that's are some common methods that business use to connect to the internet in our area now. So that's it for today's video. So if you learn something or if you like my explanation on how I answer the questions, so please leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.